Hey, welcome back, everybody. So, what we're going to do today is I'm going to take you through the application process to win a grant from Jobber. They're doing 15 grants at $10,000 each. They did a similar one last year. I don't know how many years they've been doing it, but they've been doing this a little while. So, this year they're giving out 15 grants, $10,000 each. And I'm going to take you through the process of how to apply and specifically how to increase your odds of winning. But I do want to make something clear. I don't have any insider information on this process at all. Nobody at Jobber has secretly pulled me aside and said, "Hey, here's the things to tell your guys so they can win." I've gleaned this all by reading the terms and conditions, reading everything that they have to say about it, as well as looking at last year's winners to see what they had in common. I'm pretty familiar with how brands work and how corporations work and stuff like that. So, I think I'm going to be able to give you some tips to just increase your odds. And going over the details. So, again, it is $10,000 for each grant, and they're giving out 15 of them this year. You can apply up until June 12th. So, make sure you get applied before June 12th. Doesn't cost anything at all to apply. You can't really lose anything on this. And the only time it's going to take you is whatever time you decide to put into it to make your application as good as possible. And you don't have to have Jobber for this grant, so that they don't require that you're using Jobber in order to get the grant. It's just a grant. The judges consider things like how you operate your business, how you could keep your community safe and efficient, career building for your employees, prioritizing technology in your business, and community service. Those are all very important things that they're going to be considering throughout this process. I do want to say one thing. Even though they don't require that you use Jobber, they do want to know how you're using technology in your business. And Jobber is technology. So if you are using Jobber, especially if you're using all the features of Jobber, I feel like that's going to make that question easy to answer. But you can also be using AI and stuff like that. They really are looking at community impact, in my opinion, by looking at last year's winners and just looking at what they say they're looking for. They want to see that you're having some sort of community impact. You do have to be 18 years old or older and reside in the US or Canada, excluding Quebec for some reason. I don't know why, but apparently, if you're in Quebec, you can't apply for this. Yeah, here's the timeline. So, June 12th is the deadline for applications. June 18th through 26th is phase two applications. So, this application is either going to get your foot in the door or it's not. But if you fill all of this out the way I show you, I feel pretty confident that you're going to make it into the second round for the phase two applications. And then June 26th through 15th is when the judges are going to be reviewing applications sometime around mid July. For the finalists, they're going to be doing interviews and getting more information about your business. And everything I'm going to tell you today is going to apply to that interview that you're going to do later. And then the winners are announced in August. And of course, Jobber reserves all rights to, do whatever they want and give people a grant or not give people a grant. But hopefully you get the grant. So let's do this now. All right. So this is the page you're going to apply from. You can get to this site from Jobber, or you can go to getjobber.com/grants. However, you want to get there. It's pretty easy to find. Just Google it and click on apply now. This is so easy. It's stupid easy. Okay, do you reside in the US or Canada, excluding Quebec? Yes, you do. Please confirm that you currently own or plan to start a home service business. So notice here, you don't have to currently own the business. You can also just be planning to start the business. And you're going to say yes. Please select your industry. So right here, go ahead and select your industry. I'll say handyman because that's my industry. How many years have you been in business? For me, I'm almost 4, but I'm still technically not 4 years quite yet, so I'll say 3. Now, this is the important part. Tell us how your business demonstrates excellence in one or more of the following areas. So, I've got a list here of some examples for y'all to put in here because what's going to happen is when you fill out this application, somebody at Jobber is going to be looking through every single application and asking themselves, does this applicant meet the criteria that we asked for? So when they said, tell us how your business, number one, how your services keep our homes and offices safe and running, you have to answer that question. So here's some examples on how your business might keep homes and offices safe and running. Number one, let's say you have a fast response time. You've got some sort of program in place, or if you haven't started your business, you're planning on starting a business with a program in place to have fast response times for things that are safety related or just for anything at all, because it's not just safety, it's safe and running. So, you could have something in place for a fast response time, or you could have plans for putting something in place for a fast response time. Maybe you even need the grant in order to put the thing in place that you're going to need for that fast response time. Like maybe you need to buy a handyman van to have one of your employees take home one night a week, different employees, so that they're available for on call emergencies. Could be anything. Safety inspections. So maybe you have a 12-point safety inspection checklist that you perform for free on every home that you work on. Even if you're just there to fix the faucet, maybe you offer safety inspections for free or paid, because the criteria is simply that your services keep our homes and offices safe and running. You may offer after hours services, so that, for example, in an office, maybe you're going to be sanding a bunch of drywall and everybody can't be in there working. So, to keep that office safe and running, you're going to come and do this at 8 p.m. to 3 a.m. so that everybody can still continue working in their office. That would be an example of filling in that criteria. Maybe you have a preventive maintenance program so that things don't break, so that the office doesn't have to shut down because the toilets don't work or the smoke detectors are beeping or whatever. Or maybe you do client education. So, whatever it is, whatever service it is that you're performing that may keep that office from being safe or running smoothly, maybe you have an education program where when you go and do maintenance there, maybe you go one day a month and you actually teach their employees a little bit about how to maintain things or how to keep things in tip-top condition. Those are just a few. Those are the ones I came up with off the top of my head, because your goal here is, when they say, tell us how your business does this, and they list one through four, you want to hit all four, because if you hit all four, I think you're almost certainly going to make it to phase two. So, number two, you help hardworking people build meaningful careers. How would you do this? Now, again, I went and looked through last year's winners and read their bios. It's on Jobber's website. You can go read this stuff yourself. So I looked through the bios to see what Jobber had to say about the people they picked to win. And here are a few of the things. Here's how you can help hardworking people build meaningful careers. And again, you don't have to have your business running up and going yet. It doesn't have to be a business yet. And whatever it is that you're going to do to help people build meaningful careers, you don't necessarily have to be doing it now. It's probably better if you are, but you can also have plans for doing that. And maybe you're going to use the grant money to institute these things. So, number one, let's say you're paying for classes. Maybe you're paying for classes to get certifications that are useful within your industry, or maybe you're paying for college classes for business education and stuff like that. You're training new guys, you're taking inexperienced employees, like you have a program in place specifically to hire inexperienced employees who don't know how to do your job yet and train them up to do it. That would be a way to help hardworking people build meaningful careers. Maybe you offer flexible schedules because you've got a mom and dad who can't afford to put their kids in daycare. So you offer flexible schedules so that one of them can alternate their schedule with the other and provide care for their children. Maybe you offer work from home. Again, maybe for single moms and stuff, you might offer a work from home program 2 days a week where they're doing admin work or training or something. Institute advancement programs. Literally, come up with a program that your employees can sign into and say, hey, as you go through this list, you'll be advancing your skills within this industry and therefore advancing your career. And have it be a real official program that has steps to go through and get to the end for a certification. You could offer an office library that has self improvement books and books about business and books, just books, books, books. You could have a whole library just full of books that are going to help your employees advance their careers. Obviously, having good benefits is going to be important for your employees to help them, again, to build meaningful careers. So, you offering good benefits is helping them build a meaningful career for themselves. You can do profit sharing, or you could do paid internships. And again, those are just a handful. I'm not going to go over all 167 ideas that I have, but I do encourage you to go to the Jobber website and take a look at the previous winners from previous years. And that's going to give you, and I'm going to take you through a little bit of that at the end here, but that's going to also give you a good idea of the types of things that Jobber awarded grants for last year, which is then going to give you a good idea of what they're likely to be awarding grants for this year. Number three, you run a smooth business for you and your customers. This is pretty vague, I think, but again, when you go through last year's winners, I think you get an idea what this looks like. So, run a smooth business. Now, number one, again, if you're using Jobber, that's helping you run a smooth business. If you're using some other CRM, that's helping you run a smooth business. If you're using any technology, at all in your business, that technology is helping you run a smooth business. And you want to, again, specify whether you own a business or you're about to own a business, or you own the business and you haven't instituted this yet, but you're going to specify the things about your business, current or future, that are going to make it smooth for both you and your customers. And for you and your customers, that means also your employees and your customers. What I mean is all the way from the moment that the consumer needs to make a request to your company, all the way through you scheduling, doing an assessment, providing an estimate, getting the work approved, sending the people out to do the work, invoicing, getting the invoice paid, also receiving feedback and having reviews at the end, and up to and even including maybe having a QA guy who goes by afterwards. That's your whole process. And they want to see, again, that you are running a smooth business for you and your customers. So using tech like Jobber is one way to do it. Using AI is another really way to do it because that can help streamline your marketing and your communications. You can use drones so that you get better measurements, better footage, better data, better information about whatever's up on that roof or up on that tower, or whether or not that gutter is clogged with a bunch of sticks and leaves, or whether it's just right there at the end. Any number of examples. You could be using drones, again, using automation, making payments easy for customers to complete, having a thing where they can slide their card, or you can send them an electronic invoice and they can just pay with their phone, or being able to accept cash, Venmo, things like that. Easy payments would make your business run smoother. Communication processes, and this is going to be more with both within the business but also from the business to the customer. So this could be that you have they used to have like those Nextel phones that were also a walkie-talkie, so that may streamline the process if you have a way to reach all of your employees very quickly, if you have a good funnel and a good channel for information to go around, or if you have a system for your clients to be receiving communications and get updates on the progress of the job as the job progresses. Um, I mentioned this before, QA visits, that would be part of providing a smooth process because that gives you some feedback. And speaking of feedback, you can create feedback loops so that you encourage your customers to give you feedback after the job's been done so that you can then improve your entire process for continuous improvement. Or you may be doing things like I don't know if y'all know what the lean model is, but there's different models for running businesses that are intended to make them more efficient and more profitable and more smooth. So you might, maybe you're using the lean model, or you're going to be using the lean model, or you find some other business model that's intended for continuous improvement and running a smooth business, and utilize those models. And again, the goal here is that when you type stuff in down here in this box, see where I typed, I'm a Jobber ambassador, I'm not applying for a grant. I just want them to know I'm not trying to get a grant. I'm not eligible because I'm affiliated with Jobber. But down here, when you start typing all of this out, articulate every single thing that you can think of that you're going to do or are currently doing or are planning on doing if and when you do start your business, to let them know, here's how I meet this criteria. And number four, tell us how your business demonstrates excellence in one or more of the following areas. Number four, you give back to the communities where you live and work. So, what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to kind of give you a list of all of the community service types of things that I saw pop up in last year's winners. So, the recipients of whatever program you're going to put in place can be seniors, veterans, first responders, schools, the environment, like planting trees and stuff, working with local nonprofits, working with shelters, working with foster groups. And what you can do for them, you could offer them discounts or you could offer them free work. You could do fundraisers for them or with them, participate in their fundraisers with them. You could do like an adopt a highway type of thing to clean up the side of the highway. Um, or you could do free training days. There's a lot you could do, but you want to pick something about your community that you're going to be contributing to. And I think the easiest way to do that, if you're not already doing it, what you want to be instituting is just something where your business is dedicating some small amount of its resources to helping out the community. Again, seniors, veterans, first responders, schools, teachers, environment, local nonprofits, shelters, foster groups, or just children's programs, the YMCA. You could you could host like a monthly free fishing day where you take 15 fishing poles out to the river and you invite the public to come fish with you. But anything at all that would improve your community, and then articulate that here. And then a little bit of advice I'll give you is whatever you're going to type into here, when you're done, run that through Chat GPT and just tell Chat GPT what you're doing. Say, hey, I'm applying for a grant. Here's the criteria that they asked for the grant, and copy and paste this criteria. And then say, here's what I wrote, hoping to win the grant, and copy and paste what you wrote. And then say, please rewrite this to sound as professional and sincere as possible. Let chat gpt rewrite it. And if it's not accurate to what you wrote, don't submit something that's inaccurate. But chat gpt is probably just going to improve your vocabulary, improve your grammar, streamline the way that it's written and spoken out so that it's just more articulate and easier to read and makes more sense. So that's what I suggest. Now what we're going to do is, I believe if I hit this, yep, there we go. So there's the back button. Let's scroll down. $150,000 in grants, 15 grants, 5 minutes to apply, open till June 12th. We keep our homes and offices running safe and smoothly. We went over that one. We help hardworking people build meaningful careers. We went over that one. Actually, you know what I didn't talk about? Treating your employees well, also in terms of just providing good benefits and just treating them well. That can also make a difference in this application. Smooth operators. So it said keep your business running smoothly. And here they specify who prioritize technology and innovation to run a smooth business. So if they say technology and innovation, you say, I use technology to run my business smoothly via these examples. Say those words verbatim. And the community caretakers who give back to the communities where they live and work. Now let's look at some of last year's winners. They measure and track everything and are committed to growth and continuous improvement. AI is integral in their operations. So these guys talked about AI. I'm just picking little things out from each of these. Each team member completes a dream and goal sheet during onboarding to outline what they hope to achieve, and the company hosts speakers and workshops that cover topics they've indicated are important. So, this is for employee career growth. His ability to keep accurate records makes his team more reliable and affordable. So, that's a smooth running business. So, this guy's focusing mostly on tech. Let's look at Matt and Maddie. So look at these guys are planning to start their trash bin valet and washing service to serve retirement communities. So they've hit two things here now. They're number one, they're planning on doing this. So they're not even currently running this business. And number two, they're going to serve retirement communities. So that's going to help their community out to create well paying jobs with flexible schedules for young workers attending school in their area. Again, now they're helping their community and at the exact same time developing careers of their employees. So they're helping the community by focusing on young people who were in school. And number two, by focusing on those young people and offering them a well paying job with good benefits, they're also helping those young people advance their career. So these guys hit multiple nails on the head at the same time. And that's about all I'm going to go through. There's not much more for this. I just really want to articulate to you guys that they tell you right here, as well as in the application, as well as in the terms and conditions. They really spell it out in the terms and conditions, precisely what the judgment criteria is. So if they tell you what they want to hear, don't tell them other stuff that isn't what they want to hear. Tell them exactly the answers to the questions they're asking and how your business is going to hit all four of these blocks. And I think if you do, you have a very good chance of advancing to the second stage. And once you get there, you're still going to focus on the same stuff, but you're going to go more in depth, more detail, maybe try to get some of these instituted, come up with really good plans to get them all instituted if they're not already instituted. So yeah, guys, it's 5 minutes. Get over here onto the Jobber website, whether you use Jobber or not, and just go ahead and apply for this grant because it's a free $10,000 if you win it. And if you don't win it, it's literally not going to take you more than 5 to 10 minutes to fill out. So I wish all of y'all good luck, and I love y'all, and I will see you on the next one.